in, we get into these habits of time wasting, and it's a slippery slope, because if you don't value the time and you're not valuing, even these micro lost moments of time that you guys are all doing, including myself, it can very quickly get away from you. Now, Seth Hummel, who some of you guys might know, was out at my place about a month ago for our virtual event that we did. And one of the things that he said to me that stuck with me, that I thought, I don't even know if I grasped it at the time because we were running and gunning, but one of the things that he said, there's every single day that you guys are doing your entrepreneurial endeavors, right? Every single day you do certain things over and over and over again that take up micro amounts of time, and some more than others, right? And so one of the things he said was, take a moment to step back from what you guys are doing for just a second, and identify the different things throughout the process of what we've taught you guys here that are taking these little micro amounts of time from you, right? Because I think a lot of us, what we end up doing is, especially when you're in the moment of a process, is you do the process, you hit that little, like, whatever you want to call it, you hit that little fork in the road where maybe you could have had a smarter way of doing something. And in turn, what happens is you waste 5 or 10 minutes, but you can't go and deal with it right then and there because you're in the midst of the day. So the exercise for all of us is at the end of the day or end of the week, but day is probably better than week because it's going to be fresh on your mind. Or even maybe at the time it happens, make a note for yourself in your cell phone or on a piece of paper. But start identifying pieces of the process that you have started to follow, and let's start finding the areas we can make them better, right? Refine them, make them cleaner, make them better. A good example of this would be, like, if you're in a restaurant or you're in an office building, right? And every time you hit print on the printer or the little tab deal, that you have to walk, let's say 10 feet over to the printer to get it. And you do that same action, 55 times a day. And so, although not that big of a deal to switch, if there's an outlet 10 feet closer, oftentimes we don't actually go in and make those changes. We kind of just keep creatures of habit. We keep doing the same thing over and over again, even though it's taking micro amounts of time. But at the end of the day, those micro amounts add up to a ton. And I'm totally guilty of this, which is why I was sitting here with the Escaleras. We're working on some different processes for some of the sales teams that they run. And I said, hey, while I'm on the live stream today, I want you guys to go through the same exercise I want to talk to everyone about, which is simply busting down this process of specifically the things that you guys are struggling with that are taking away micro amounts of time. I think that probably throughout all of us, there's ways that we can start refining these different things out of our businesses, which may be costing us more money, than we understand. You think about something as silly as walking 10 feet and back to pick up, a printed piece of paper, let's say, and then you don't generally quantify it by, like, oh, it only took 5 seconds, but then doing it 50 times a day, what did it really cost you per day, per week, per month, per year? And that's when things can get really, really interesting, when you start being able to shave time here or there. Now, a lot of us don't respect time enough, right? So for those of us that don't have we feel like we have an abundance of extra time on our hands, we need to also get in tune with how wasteful we're being with time. I think a lot of us, we get into habits, whether that's through how we were raised or just the surroundings we grew up in. We get into these habits of time wasting, and it's a slippery slope, because if you don't value the time and you're not valuing, even these micro lost moments of time that you guys are all doing, including myself, it can very quickly get away from you. Now,